Hello and welcome aboard the Battleship Pretension from Cinephile Video in Los Angeles, California. I'm Tyler Smith.
And I'm David Bax.
And thank you for watching. David, how you doing?
Tyler, I hope you got yourself a bow and arrow and a couple of hunky fellows to pine for, because today, only one of us is leaving this video store alive. We'll be reviewing Gary Ross's The Hunger Games, based on the best-selling book by Suzanne Collins.
That's right, and we'll be joined by actor and comedian Josh Fadem in a moment, but first, The Hunger Games.
You want to see what I got you today? It's a Mockingjay pin. As long as you have it, nothing bad will happen to you. I promise.
Welcome and happy Hunger Games.
Directed by Gary Ross, the man behind Pleasantville, Seabiscuit, and other films that don't involve 12-year-olds being speared through the chest, this film takes place in a dystopian future in which the government sponsors a yearly tournament where 24 teenagers fight to the death on live television.
I told her that I would try to win for her.
And try you will.
Our main character is Katniss, a young woman from one of the country's poorer districts.
So you're here to make me look pretty.
Here to help you make an impression.
Who volunteers for the games when her younger sister's name is drawn, taking the little girl's place. So let's get into it, shall we?
Indeed.
I really liked this movie. I don't want to get too bogged down in comparisons between the book and the movie, but I do like the way this realized what it couldn't do in the book. You know, it couldn't be too inside a single person's head, you know, but it realized what it could do, which is be more tense and expand the sort of world-building science fiction.
I think you're too close to the source material. I have the, I think, benefit of having not read the book. This film could never be satisfying to me. It's a film about violence. It's a film that uses violence to comment on television and entertainment and the government, but because it is based on a book for a certain age group, which is a younger age group, I think it can never be as overtly violent as I think it needs to be.
I think you're wrong, because I don't think it's about the violence. I think that this film is really more about fear. Not only the fear of Katniss and the other tributes in the arena, but the fear under which all these people live in this regime, under this tyranny. The opening, I guess, 20 minutes leading up to the reaping, where the tributes are chosen at random, is full of so much dread to me. I think it was really well executed, and that really set the stage for what it was going to be. Because I was also nervous going in. It's a PG-13, you know. Yeah. Even in the book, which is for young people, there's people getting shot through the throat, and there's a lot of blood and stuff like that. So I was nervous going in. For a PG-13 movie, there's more blood in this than there was in The Dark Knight. Now you have some problems with the villains in the game.
I think my problem is that, like, I understand, like, they are the ones to beat in the game, the career tributes as they're called. They're the ones to beat. They're the biggest threat. But you can be the biggest threat. You can have a certain mindset about the game without being a straight up villain. I like the idea of them being antagonists or obstacles, but they lose the fact that they are kids in the game as well.
But if the whole point is to show how governments or the people in charge, if we're talking about today, and obviously everything's run by corporations, we're all under their foot, but the way they use the sort of entertainment and these things to keep us distracted from real problems, if that's the political commentary, then it makes sense that Katniss has to focus on the career tributes as villains. President Snow and Seneca Crane, played by Donald Sutherland and Wes Bentley, two great names.
Seneca Crane, I love it.
Seneca Crane. They're too far of a remove for her. She has to, just like all the other people, keep from being engaged in what's actually keeping them down, because they're in the districts are divided, they're pitted against each other in this thing.
And David, once again, you've shown your ignorance. Because here's the thing, is that from what I understand, having not read the books, it's first person, correct?
Yeah.
All right. The film is definitely not. It frequently shows us stuff outside the game. We see Seneca Crane, we see the president. If the film is going to take a more objective point of view, then it should be objective about all of it. But like when it chooses to be subjective, I think is...
I don't think, but if most of the movies and TV shows we have wouldn't be what they are if we had to have the main character, even if the Shield were just Vic Mackey the entire time, that would be exhausting.
I feel like either strong subjective or strong objective. I feel like if you're gonna make a comment about the world we live in and all that, I don't mean to throw my arms up like that's too lofty a goal, But like, if you're gonna do that, I feel like you need to take a slightly more extreme point of view.
I think finding the middle ground is, Tyler, the political is personal. The personal is universal. That's what made Gary Ross make such a good film. That and character names like Seneca Crane and Caesar Flickerman and Claudius Templesmith and Hamish Abernathy.
And Benedict Cumberbatch. He was wonderful.
Benedict Cumberbatch, I like that character. Played, of course, by Lenny Kravitz.
Indeed.
We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with comedian actor Josh Fadem.
And we're back. We just reviewed Gary Ross's Hunger Games, which, David, it's a movie about babies killing babies. I'm sorry. Are you going to laugh?
Yeah, I laughed because it's funny.
And here to talk about more movies about underage murderers, we have a guest.
Yes, our guest today is an actor, comedian whose recent credits include 30 Rock and Eagleheart, Josh Fadem. Josh,
hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
What do you like? The Good Son. We were talking about the Omen off before we started recording.
We were talking about the Omen, the Good Son, where you get to hear Macaulay Culkin say "fuck," and that was why the kids went to see it.
Don't fuck with me, he says.
Yeah.
Which was a rejected line from Home Alone,
right?
But they couldn't market that to kids.
Right.
They actually just took the clip, the cut scene from Home Alone,
right,
where Kevin McAllister says, and not even to he says it to the old guy at the convenience store.
You know, Home Alone's a loose remake of Straw Dogs.
And, that's true. They should take more violent movies like Straw Dogs and make
family
versions with kids.
We need to talk about Kevin. Do we need to talk about that?
Did you
saw it.
Did you like the movie?
I thought I was really engrossed in the first hour. I was like, this movie's got it all right. Mm-hmm. And then they started having conversations with dialogue, scenes with dialogue. And I was like, no.
I liked it all the way through. And
really?
And it was one of my favorite movies of last year.
You didn't think Ezra Miller was like, bad?
That was... I thought his performance was fine. It just seemed like such a strange... He is one note, but the way I look at it is, it's a story told from her point of view, and the way she sees it, he's just pure demon.
A school shooting movie that doesn't have the problem of having too much dialogue is Elephant. Did you see Elephant?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
I did not.
Except the ending. I didn't like the ending when they start making out. Gus Van Sant turned something that was about something else into a film about, no, it's about them being gay.
And I like it specifically because there's not a lot of dialogue. It's almost purely visual. But in that moment, I was like, I could use more dialogue here to explain something, because...
But I could use fewer explanations in the movie. I understand what they were trying to do by saying, like, maybe it was this, maybe it was this, but how about you don't, like, even reach for an explanation for something that horrific? Because otherwise it looks like, well, if they weren't gay kids who got spitballs thrown at them, they wouldn't have killed all those kids. And that's a little simple.
That movie it doesn't have anything to do with anything. It's just people walking and getting shot or shooting someone. And the camera just follows them.
Do you like Elephant? I know he hates it.
You asked me. I like it. I don't remember
it
too well, actually. I just remember that they kiss at the end.
Do you prefer killer kids who are realistic like an elephant, or do you prefer an Omen or a supernatural killer kid?
For entertainment or for like to actually, I don't know if I have a preference. I mean, they're both valid types of movies. But while we're talking about kids and violence, I hate that actress from Kick-Ass who's now in everything, Chloe Moretz or whatever.
Do you hate her? Because I actually think she's talented.
No, I hate her because of Kick-Ass.
Okay.
And I hate that every time I see a stupid picture of her, she's like, you know, you're 14 years old. Stop trying to be sexy to us 30-year-olds. You know, like, that's all started with Kick-Ass. She's like, hey, you cunts.
Oh. Words slip by.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh, for joining us. Thank you to Cinephile for having us.
Well, that was your point, by the way, too.
Yes,
So you joined in with me.
Yes.
Back me up here.
Thank you, Josh, for joining us. Thank you to Cinephile for having us. And thank you at home for watching.
We'll get you next time.
Bye.
Bye.